Welcome to the show that your parents, the PTA and the asleep don't want you to hear. The Helios blog. Today, Kevin Samuels says that modern women think they're special. This should be good.
The reason she's alone is because she's difficult.
Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Women fuck men they respect.
All the women who say things like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, like, y'all impress me.
Women just gaslight each other and say what they want to hear.
Dating and being single. So what more can I do outside of being some being some
at 36?
Yes.
I don't even know what do you want?
I want to be married. I want to have
so
Good luck.
I'm letting you just talk.
36?
And instead of coming in and saying, "Hey Kevin, I want to be married," you start telling me all the things that's wrong. I don't even know what you want. So, why do you want to be married?
I want to be married because of everything that I've been hearing is I want to be a helpmeet. I've learned from my past marriage. I'm ready to be with somebody, support them, have a family.
Yeah, who doesn't want to be with a 36-year-old divorcee?
Children?
I don't have any children.
When did you come to the conclusion you wanted to be a helpmeet?
Yesterday.
This came after my first marriage, in my through the divorce of learning what it really meant to be married.
What was the question I asked you?
The question was, when did I come to the conclusion that I wanted to be a helpmate?
Mm-hmm. And how about you just give me the most direct answer?
I'm sorry?
How about you just give me the most direct answer first?
When did I?
Yeah. How long ago did you come to this conclusion you wanted to be?
Her response to Kevin saying this question is to filibuster. She doesn't want to answer it. So she's waiting for years to answer it. She's stalling for time so that she may think of a smart answer.
Be a helpmeet.
After going through my divorce.
Okay, you know when your divorce was over. I don't know you.
Right.
Why don't you just tell me 1 year, 3 years, 5 years ago?
Oh,
that's
okay.
what you would tell a complete stranger.
This was 4 years.
Okay, what I'm showing you is
Solipsism.
how you communicate with me as a man tells me you don't know how to communicate with men.
Okay.
Men are very straightforward. How long were you married?
5 years.
Who filed for divorce?
I did.
On what grounds?
We went through a lot.
On what grounds?
On what grounds?
Mutual differences.
For me personally.
Nope, no, ma'am. I just need the legal grounds you as the plaintiff filed the legal dissolution of marriage, not the story first. See, what I keep asking you is to be direct. You wouldn't file for divorce, right?
Yes, sir.
On the legal document, it asked reason for divorce. What is the reason?
Well, it was irreconcilable differences.
And see, what you could have just told me a minute ago is I filed the divorce on irreconcilable differences.
Yeah, so she can't answer a question, can't communicate with men, disrespectful, old, divorced.
But the reason
clueless.
is I want to get y'all story out so much. No, we don't need that yet. Irreconcilable differences. Did your husband want a divorce?
Yes, he did.
Was there any infidelity?
Yes, there was.
Disaster.
How much cheating did you do?
Not me. He never admitted to cheating, but there was evidence of it.
What do you mean?
Well, you're asking me not to tell the story, but
Well, I'm just saying you said evidence. I mean,
there was evidence, text messages, women showing up at the house.
was that part of the reason you filed for divorce?
Yes. And I did try. I stayed.
So I'm just understand. He cheated, so you say, and that's cool. Okay.
Right.
But it's irreconcilable differences. So it wasn't adultery?
Yes, there was, but he didn't admit to it.
Okay. So you saw text messages.
Text messages, showing up at the house, sugar in his gas tank.
Okay.
Like those were
Cool.
all evidence.
All right. Sounds like something was going on. Okay. So, how long you been divorced?
Sugar in his gas tank.
4 years.
And you were married for 5 years?
Yes, sir.
You gone through any therapy?
By the way, notice what she didn't say. She didn't say, I didn't choose a sketchy guy to marry, a guy who wouldn't cheat on me. That's the guy she chose to marry as well. And she'll say, oh, it was different at the beginning. No, it wasn't. You saw the signs at the beginning.
Yes.
Are you still in therapy or are you done?
I am.
Still what?
I am.
So
I am what? I said, are you in therapy or are you done? I am.
I am.
Great answer.
I want you to understand how crazy this sounds to me. I gave you are you still in therapy or are you done? I am. That could have been either one.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm still in therapy. Right after the divorce, I went through therapy, then I stopped, and now currently about a month ago I started again.
So you didn't complete therapy. You quit.
No, I completed it, but I started again this past
I thought you
month.
said you stopped.
I stopped after the
How long
divorce.
did you go? How long did you go?
What a
For
total
year
mess.
after the divorce.
Would you say you're ready to be remarried?
Yes, I would.
I don't think so.
I don't know. If this conversation is any indication, it's kind of it's difficult to just kind of.
The reason why I
Oh,
started
man.
therapy again last month was because I started dating. I was in a relationship this past year, and that breakup, I decided that I needed therapy again. So
How long was this relationship?
that relationship was for 6 months.
Who ended that?
It was mutual.
It's not mutual. It's never.
Friends with benefits that she thought was a relationship. She pushed the guy too hard because she was old. And there you go.
Mutual. Watch me long enough, you know better than that.
Okay.
Who ended it?
He did.
You see?
Why?
We have different lifestyles. He was a little bit older, and he wanted we just have different lifestyles. He wanted to move out to the country. I wanted to stay in the city.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't know that?
No, you wanted what you wanted. You wanted to not be the primary in the relationship. To be the primary in the relationship. You're with a guy who's older than you, who knows what he wants, who's doing like good things for himself, and you decided not to go with him because reasons.
In the first
Still
month or
want to
so?
go to brunch.
I think that we were both trying to accommodate one another and try to make it
What was
work.
the question I asked you?
Did I know that before? Yes, I did know.
Okay. And so I'm just telling you, ma'am, there are all kind of signals here.
Right.
Hilarious.
But he also knew I wanted to be in the city as well.
Okay. Well, but the difference is you got the clock. He doesn't.
Right.
So, and I'm hearing you say you wanted to be a helpmeet. Were you a helpmeet to your first husband?
No.
No. So things were very opposite for us. We were college sweethearts. So a lot of the things that I was doing, he kind of followed me.
So you were the man.
She married a beta male.
I was leading.
So he was emasculated.
I don't think that I emasculated him.
Did I say, see? What was the question I asked?
No. Was he emasculated?
I said, so he was emasculated.
Yes, probably, yes.
Okay, so and the first thing you start going to do is defend yourself.
Right.
All I do is listen intently,
Mm-hmm.
and the signs are still. I don't think you're really. I think you're trying. I think you want something that you're not ready for.
Well, I'm trying.
Because I mean, if you were married to a man who was, well, you
Immediately when Kevin tells her something, she immediately talks back. So she's not ready to listen. So she's not ready to be a good girl to any guy.
were the husband, you were the leader and he was the follower. Men like that typically do cheat because that's the only way they can really assert their manhood.
Right.
So it's not your. So and then if you go to counseling and it stops or you quit or whatever, you start it again. After a relationship that ends, you're with a guy who was older than you, but you should know not to waste your time. So at the beginning, he was a country, you were a city. You shouldn't even got to 6 months. It should have been a month.
Indeed.
If you were really a wife, you wouldn't have wasted 6 months.
I'm trying to do different. I'm trying to make.
I get it. You're trying to make yourself be a wife. You're not.
Okay.
Simply not. Sorry.
I mean, how do you change?
You don't.
How do you? Okay.
See, you would have to do like a man would do, and you have to marry down. You got a business, right?
Yes.
You make more than 6 figures?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So you got to get a lesser man.
Okay.
Beta.
What would a man have to do in your position? See,
be down.
Just like when you're first, like your husband,
Mm-hmm.
and you were the wife, but you were really the husband and he was the wife. And if your husband was in your position, you was in his position, it would have worked fine. The power dynamic would have worked. You try to get with an older man, cause he's a little country, you're a little rock and roll, and you probably thought, well, maybe I could kind of make this work, cause you're still trying to fit that square peg in a round hole. Because the guys who want what you want don't want a masculine woman. Or they don't want a woman who's a lead. I don't say masculine. They don't want a woman who's in her masculine energy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not saying you're masculine, but in your masculine energy, and then that's what tends to happen when you're a business owner and you're a higher earner. But in our communication, it was not direct.
Okay.
Like I would expect from somebody who's in a masculine. So I'm just like, it's all over the place.
Okay. I have a question. So culturally, I was taught that, my parents came from a different
Culturally,
country.
you were taught what?
I was taught, be successful, earn money, like.
So you're a man in a woman's body, and then you don't understand why you're failing.
This is why my parents came to America,
Uh-huh.
and they were.
And what culture is this?
My family's from Thailand.
Okay, well, that's not culturally. That's your family. Because I can go find a YouTube channel where a man is talking about his Thai wife, and everybody's in love. So I know plenty of Thai wives that aren't doing this. Your
Right.
family may do it.
Well, I will say this: being with this last boyfriend that I was with, he did teach me a lot of the things that I've learned through your channel. And I am working.
What if it? Okay, man. What if it is too late?
I'm sorry. What if it's too late?
Yeah. I gotta. You're a business person. Let's just do a hypothetical. What if the business is beyond repair and it's going to falter? It's going to go bankrupt. It's going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
What do I do?
Do you hope against hope and continue to invest and continue to do whatever?
Well, I'm probably going to be alone, or I'm going to have to settle.
Well, yeah. I asked you the business question, but in the business question, you know the answer, so that's where you're at, ma'am. Thai women, you're not. That's your family, and I'm not. That's not the culture. Your family, and maybe there's some people like that. You can find some come over here and earn, but ma'am, Why can't you get a man who's making more than you so you can be in your feminine to him?
Right.
Like, let's go back this. Let's go back here. How long you been in this country?
I was born here
All right. Where'd you go to college?
in Los Angeles.
Okay. Why didn't you get married at 23? Before you started making 100,000, why didn't you get married when you were young?
I was married at 27.
Okay. And 27, but your husband was how old?
He was 29 at the time.
But he was lesser than you. He was lesser than you.
We
He was
both
a lesser earner than you.
yes, we went into the business together. But
Okay, you were college
yeah.
sweethearts? You were college sweethearts?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But you were the leader.
Mm-hmm.
What a
He
mess.
was lesser than you.
Yes.
Freaking disaster.
All right. Why? Does that make sense? I mean, you even in your younger years, you decided when you were starting out, you got with a guy lesser because did you date anybody else in college?
No.
Did other guys want to date you?
I wouldn't know if because I was with one man for 16 years.
Okay. Well,
Other men.
I'm curious as to,
At least she's loyal.
you knew the dynamic between you as you were leading, he was following. Why was it okay to marry that?
So at that time, I didn't have the right people in my life and the tools and resources to tell me, hey, these are red flags of this may not be the right
You're
man.
a woman, he's a man. You know that
Right.
didn't feel right.
Yes.
Why'd you do it?
She rationalized it away, of course. She said, oh, we're in love, it's all fine. Well, it's not all fine.
Out of comfort,
Because you could be in control.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Because you could be in control.
I don't think it was that, Kevin. I think it was just it was the right thing to do because we were together for so long.
Well,
We were college sweethearts, and it was, when we told our families we were going to get married, they were
yeah, but see, the thing is, I'm not so much on the college sweetheart. I'm on the fact that you got with a beta before
Right.
money was even on the table.
right.
So he must allow and women don't tend to do that unless they like being in a power controlling position.
Mm-hmm.
Femininity repulses beta. Betas are repulsive to feminine women.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He let
So
you, ma'am, you were in control.
Right.
Are the women in your family dominant?
No, my mother is not. She stayed at home and she
So you became the man you wanted to be with. And then you're surprised. Why don't men want to be with me? Well, they don't want to be with you because you became the man that you wanted to be with instead of being a woman.
raised us. And
What about the other women in your family?
I'm sorry.
The other women in your family?
It's just my mother.
You don't have
And
aunts?
I have aunts. They were all stay at home, raised their families.
So what the hell then?
I'm first generation here. So
Okay,
they
you have any siblings?
I have an older sister.
Is she married?
No, she's not.
Oh, the buck stopped
But
there.
you grew up in LA?
I grew up in California, but moved to LA when I was 17.
That explains a lot. There it is.
Oh, well, I would say that, that college environment, that feminism thing tends to attach pretty early. At the end of the day, ma'am, the natural fit would be a man who's above you, but a man who's above you, why would he do it? Because the femininity component, guys don't tend to want 6-figure women and all this stuff. And now it's like you want to be, what, do you want to quit your business and be a stay-at-home wife now?
I'm more than happy to be at home. My perspective on
Clearly
marriage.
not.
How tall are you?
How tall am I? 5'2".
Dress size?
4.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
145.
But here's the issue, man.
Mm-hmm.
You worked all your life to be successful.
Right.
Do you have any student loan debt?
No, I don't.
Guys have a real hard time looking at women who worked all their life to be successful, and then all of a sudden you just give that up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, this is what a lot of women are starting to experience. Like, wait a minute. Because I'm sure there's a point in your life where you were proud that you were making a certain amount of money and defined you as a professional. But now it's almost like I'm hearing, I would love to give this up and just be a housewife.
That's what a lot of girls do.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's why they're complaining at medical schools, right? Because girls take these medical student positions, and women are like 70% of medical school students, and then they work as a doctor for 2 years and quit and become a housewife. And then what? No doctor.
That's insulting to the women who chose to just be housewives and focus on becoming professional housewives.
Right.
While you were out being a professional, they were becoming professional housewives. Why do you get to take their husbands?
Okay.
They don't get to take your businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
I'm just saying. And if you were a man looking for a housewife, would you go get a woman who has ran a business who married a beta? Or would you go get a woman who was raised to do the things that men really want?
Right.
Would you buy a sports car, or would you take a car that needs to be tinkered on?
You're right. I understand what you're saying. I think that just in my experience, I've learned a lot, and there are things that I've want to change.
So, this is what I'm telling you. A lot of times you ladies do this, like, well, you know what? I learned so much now. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
So?
You're old now.
Yeah.
I get it. But the market gets to pick.
Right.
See, the men don't get to go to the market and say, well, I'm ready now. I'm better. It's like, you got to be ready when it's time.
Mm-hmm. Right. I understand everything that you're saying. And
yeah, the beautiful thing about being a man is there's always a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, a 50th chance. For women, there's no second chance. If you're past 28, 29, still not in a long-term committed relationship where you're going towards marriage, I mean, the boat is passed.
And I see it. I experience it now that I'm single.
And this is why so many women are starting to
invisible.
Freak out, because you've been told, women have been told, the world is yours, you can have it all at any time, and you can't. And now women are starting to look back and say, well, wait a minute, I was told I could have it all, and then men aren't cooperating.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to ask yourself a question.
It's like that girl, that delusional breakdancer at the France Olympics. It's like that. It's like delusion, and then reality comes crashing down.
What does the kind of man you would want from a woman? And is that who you are naturally?
Right.
Are you a naturally submissive, cooperative, agreeable, feminine woman?
I believe so.
Okay.
On what planet?
There's no way you could have married a beta.
Indeed.
Absolutely not. You could not have married there's no way you could have married a beta.
I did. That was 10 years ago.
Okay. So are you not saying you were that 10 years ago?
I was in a different place then, because I was in a situation where I had to. And
femininity doesn't do that.
Okay.
The only thing femininity does that for is their children.
Yep.
Okay.
See, I'm telling you that you're telling yourself that you're something you're not.
Okay.
And your results have shown that. Feminine women don't. Have you ever seen a woman walk up to a door and stand and wait for someone to open it for her?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
How long have you seen somebody? How long have you just seen her stop and not move?
I have seen that.
Do you open the door?
Yep.
If I'm by myself, yes.
No.
But if I'm with someone, then I wait.
What I'm saying is, ma'am, there are women who are just feminine, and femininity moves a different way. Maybe you may not be argumentative and overly combative, but you stepped into a masculine provider leader role. That's not what femininity does.
How do I break that habit
You
if
don't. That's what you are. So
okay.
I said, I already said earlier, I think at 30 it's over.
Yep.
You start to settle. I said earlier, at what age is it too late for women in general? I said, I think about 30. I said at 35, you should be on the 50% off rack. At 40, you should be on clearance.
Right.
At 50, you should be at the outlet. Or no, 40 it should be at the 50 at the Salvation Army, something like that. And see, what you're doing is you're still trying to find a way to win. There has to be a way. There has to be a way. Is there a way for the Bengals to win the Super Bowl?
No.
Change the whole team.
Yeah, it is. Next year.
Oh, next year, yes.
Yeah, but you don't have another life.
Indeed. Okay. And on that note, let's end the video there. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit all the notifications. Buy my books like Hunter M, Adrian Ott, Tom and Bobby, Dylan, Renaissance Press, Brian, Andrew, Alan, Armani, and Nicholas. Shout outs to you. Most recent purchaser of both my books, Strategist Guide to Seduction and Quotes to Live By. Thank you. You can buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. Want coaching services? Well, you can message me at theheliosblog@gmail.com. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my videos. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.